Martin from the Philippines. We're here in Real Talk Lifeline. So, welcome to this live. This one is called I spent 220 pesos going to Makati today. So, technically, yesterday, share with you a quick storytelling of why and what happened. Now, what is this? This is an update to the money impact live that I did just recently that's related to the war and the oil crisis. Now, if you haven't seen that, check it out. If you, I thought that this whole war oil crisis was just about fuel prices going up. Now, spoiler, if you watch that live, I learned something new. It was a big perspective shift from a mentor, super helpful. So check it out. Now, for this one, I'll just do a bit of storytelling and update. So it's April 7, 6:59 a.m., April 7, 2026. It's been a month since all these fuel price increases. So what did I do yesterday? So I decided to take the P2P bus. Now, I'll share my screen and I'll go through a bit of walkthrough or storytelling with you. Okay, so let me pop this up. What did I do? I'll do three quick points. I took the P2P bus. Then I'll do like a live demo of like what's the difference? Why did you take the bus instead of just driving a car or just doing what you do normally? So, and then the last one, the third point would be I'll share with you a lesson because yesterday I was at a branch meeting in Makati. So I'll share with you something I learned there. So let's start. So I took the P2P bus first because there was another price increase heads up. So this was yesterday when I shared this. You could see over here, April 6th. So today they will be taking into effect this big price increase. So diesel is going to go up by around 20 pesos a liter. It's already at around 130. Gas is at 93 pesos per liter. It's going to go up potentially to 99. So I decided to take the bus instead. Now, I'm very grateful that this P2P bus, some people might say, oh, that's expensive. Why don't you just take the normal, like the cheaper bus? So point to point buses are generally more expensive because less people, it's not super crowded in the bus, and then it's really direct point to point. So this one, Alabang Town Center, goes straight to Greenbelt in Makati. So that's my destination. So no stops in between. It's faster. It's safe. So for me, it's very worth it. So I arrive there I leave Alabang 7:55. Arrive in Makati about 40 minutes, 45. So this is Monday morning, rush hour traffic, and then I leave Makati. I take the bus again, heading back another 110 pesos. So 12:53 I think this time. So this is why I spent 220 pesos that day. So let me stop the sharing first. I'll come back to you guys and then you'll go. So why did you spend 220 pesos? What's the big deal? How much does it normally cost you to to you know when you drive to Makati or commute, whatever? So I'll do a bit of math. So let's see if I could share something here. So I don't have a whiteboard, but maybe I can share. Let's see. I'll just share my screen then. I'll share my entire screen. Okay, so I'll do this in a way wherein, boom, boom. Okay, so I'm gonna check on you guys very quick. Okay, so let me put this down. So let's do some quick math over here. So I'll just walk you through the cost, why 220, and then versus driving, right? So over here, if I would normally drive and I'm gonna use, let's say, a very economical car like a Toyota Vios, right? So it's mainly gas, toll, and then parking. So a Toyota Vios, let's see if I could open something up here. Another window. All right. So Toyota Vios fuel consumption. Just so you guys can see this too, along with me. So we're gonna use this one over here in the middle, just so you get the numbers. Uh, it's an economical car, and then if you ask, is there anything even more fuel efficient? So this upper level is probably like a hybrid already, you know. So they're not as common, they're more expensive. Toyota Vios is just a very accessible, affordable, economical car. And then we're driving on Monday morning, rush hour traffic. So I'll use this middle one over here. Alabang to Makati is around 23 kilometers. So let's say the price of gas yesterday, it would take around 2 liters because it's around 20 kilometers over there. So that's one way if I would drive just for gas, right? So I'm gonna have to drive back and forth. Okay. And then I'm gonna add toll. So toll is take the Skyway, Alabang to Makati, take the Skyway coming back, because it's two-way, of course. And then add parking in Makati. So I arrive there like 8:40. I leave by around 12:50. So Makati parking isn't cheap. Good luck also if you find available parking. So let's add around, say, Greenbelt, 60 bucks, 3 hours, 30 pesos succeeding. So let's say 120. So around 820 pesos versus earlier I mentioned 220. So this is just the gas savings alone. Of course, if you have a car, how much would it cost to actually buy one, right? Maintain it, etc. like that. If you're commuting, maybe there are cheaper options as well. But I'm giving you a side by side of normally this is how much it would cost to drive an economical car versus taking the bus 220. So I'll go back to you guys momentarily over here. Let's go back to you guys. And then people will say, okay, Martin, make it relatable for me, right? Because your situation may be very different. You can just adjust the numbers. Now, if you do commute, you live nearer or further, it could be cheaper, more expensive. If your car isn't as fuel efficient as a Toyota Vios, maybe you're driving an SUV, right? Like Toyota FJ Cruiser. I hear that's like a gas guzzler. Now, if you're driving an SUV that is a diesel and it's also a gas guzzler, then your costs aren't just gonna be 800, right? It could be doubled, and that's just for one day, one morning. So that's why yesterday I spent 220. That's all I spent going to the office. Now, what's the trade off for that? Well, I did a lot more walking, the commute, of course, the bus. I did more walking, mainly just getting from Greenbelt to Ayala North Exchange. That's around a 15-20 minute walk. That's the way it is in Makati. Unless you want to try taking a Grab, uh, Joyride, those motorcycles. But then walking for me is actually very efficient in Makati. So let's go to the last point. So I took the P2P bus, 220 pesos, Alabang Makati back and forth. You saw how much it costs driving versus taking the bus or commuting. So, what was the lesson I got at the branch meeting while I was there from 9 a.m. to like 12 p.m.? So, very interesting insight related to the topic of money impact of this rising fuel prices. So, what's the continuation? It's been a month. March 8th, before I gassed up, before this whole uh, fuel price increase happened, gas was at 58 per liter, diesel was at 60. Yesterday, gas was at 93. So it's been about a month from March 8th, April 6th. I just did another full tank. Now gas is at 93. Diesel is at 130. So today, according to that price increase, it's going to go up diesel to hit maybe 150. The news say it might even go up to 170 per liter. Gas is going to go up to 99. So it's going to almost hit that 100 peso per liter psychological barrier. That alone cost me to want to commute instead yesterday. So you're seeing the personal impact on myself. So, what was the other lesson I learned from the branch meeting? I'll share what Mr. Carlo Abad taught us. So, Mr. Carlo Abad, he is the assistant vice president and head of investment marketing. So, this guy educated, insightful. What I like is he also shared it not just theoretical, but based on his real life experience within his family, right? As a husband, as a father, and the impact on his daily expenses. So, what he said that hit me was in March, gas prices went up. And that's the whole previous live that I shared about. March 8th, everything was okay. March 10, the first big price increase, diesel goes up by 20 per liter, gas goes up big. Um, March 17, diesel goes up again by another 20 per liter. So it's hitting like 80, 90 already. And then the previous live shared if diesel hits 100, what could happen to the economy, right? So this is the continuation. And then if gas prices went up in March, in April, what he said is grocery prices will go up. So if you watch the previous live, you'll understand why that makes sense. So right now, I do not really notice yet grocery prices drastically going up, changing, shifting. Very grateful yesterday that the bus prices are still the same, 110, the P2P. I've been taking that for a few years already, and it's been at 110. So I won't be surprised if they do raise the prices. I hope not, but again, diesel is gonna go up big time today. The buses, I think they use diesel fuel, so it would make sense. So this is the next step that's happening right now. Gas prices started going up very significantly. March 8th, it was at 58 per liter. Now we're looking at possibly 99 per liter today, April 7. Diesel was at 60 per liter, March 8th. Now, April 7, we're looking at possibly 150 per liter, more than double already. So, to end that, the 3 points, I took the P2P bus, 220 pesos, back and forth, Alabang to Makati. How much is the difference versus driving when you use gas, stall, parking? And then the third one was the lesson I learned from my branch meeting. So before I end the live, moving forward, what can we do, right? So what now, Martin? What else? So I'll share something in closing because people might say, Martin, you're just talking, what is really happening, right? What are people doing? So I'll share with you something. And you may not necessarily do it yourself, but it could be something that is an option for you. Also, it could be something that we can all learn from each other. So, people watching the live or the replay, feel free to share your best lessons also with us. Like, what's working for you during this crisis? So, here, as I share the window, let me adjust this. One thing I noticed, so this is a real person, a real sharing. I'll open it up. This happened before the fuel price increase um today, right? So I'm gonna look for his post. Then I'll just explain quickly what it was all about. This one. So April 3, you could see a bit of the subtitles. April 3 was a Friday, so I saw this over the weekend. So Leon, he went to the same school as I did. He was also a professor in the university I attended, few years my senior. So emotional post over here. The gist of this is he sold his truck, Nissan Frontier. He has a Nissan Terra, so it's a diesel SUV. And then emotional post, TLDR, long story short, he ends up selling it over the weekend. So the reason he cited here was due to circumstances. So we already get what the circumstances are from this live and the previous. So I'll stop the sharing because it's a kind of a long reel, a long video, but very, I guess, fortunate for Leon to find a buyer for his diesel SUV. And then moving forward, I did not see yet like what his next step would be. So we're all learning from each other here. If some of you already have transitioned to a hybrid or electric vehicle, comment down below how that's working for you. In the previous live, I shared insights I got from people and then the costing, also the difference. Now, if you are not in that situation wherein you do not have a vehicle, you cannot afford a car or something like that, comment down below what is working for you, right? What are other options that you are doing that's helping you in this crisis? So I'll end the live with that. I just wanted to put these lessons, into action. Mr. Henson Tan, so one of my mentors, also yesterday in the branch meeting, he said this: in good times and in bad times, be there. So be there for your clients, be there for your friends, be there for your colleagues, the people you meet in your life. Sometimes it's an off season, right? We're in hard times. And you don't just have to sell something. So I'm not just trying to sell life insurance or a product or a service. Sometimes people just need your financial advice. Sometimes people just need help. They need a tip. They just need to know what's working for you, right? So thank you. I love you, and I will see you next time.